Welcome to this chapter on determining your ambition in your account development plan, the Plan to Prosper. Having begun to secure your reputation and glean some deep insight into your chosen strategic customers, you should now be on the way to building a set of realistic goals and objectives connected to your desired future relationship status. The 4 questions in this chapter propose that you take a realistic view of not only your goal setting, but the most likely path to take in order to achieve those goals. The anchor point of the entire account development plan will be a drive to achieve sustainable mutual business value. This chapter on ambition sets out to guide you into establishing a clear principle, sustainable mutual value, as the bedrock of your strategy. Why? Because all the evidence supporting the most successful businesses show that without such principles it is not possible to implement best practice, and your time and resources will be wasted. To achieve your aims in your target account, you will have to commit time and resource, but so will the account. What is needed is a focus on a series of benefits that are powerful enough to motivate both you and your account to make the effort. Sustainable mutual business value refers to how you can work together to achieve both your individual objectives. Mutual value is best derived through your deep understanding of the impact of your customers' business pressures and challenges on their aspirations, married to your own strategic intent and key capabilities and strengths. The Sales Methods tool, Value Matrix, will show you how to ensure that you represent your value in the terms of the customer's perception first, before you describe the products and services which will deliver these results and the reciprocal value you expect to receive. In a later chapter, we will go into more detail on this discipline and link you to the Value Matrix tool. The question: have you agreed with your account with respect to a sustainable mutual business value, the ability to create a win-win for your 2 organizations within a 3-year time frame? The objective: to determine a long-term goal, typically 3 years, that has clear, sometimes strategic benefits to the account in helping them reach their own objectives, and you sustaining the type of business that will help you achieve your goals. And the criteria: 1. That you have determined and can articulate the long-term sustainable mutual business value. 2. That you have agreed to that goal with both key influencers and economic decision makers within the account. And 3. That you have agreed a milestone plan with the key economic sponsors. In the earlier chapter on main pillars of account development planning with Plan to Prosper, we emphasized the critical role of relationship development. You will need a clear plan of action to enable you to share your mutual value proposition with the most influential people in your customer account. Taking the key tactical steps will improve your effectiveness here. Charting a clear picture of the reality of the political map in your customer's organization is the first step in this discipline. Only then can you start to target the most appropriate people. Essentially, your thinking on sustainable mutual value must begin at the business and personal levels. Finally, your efforts may be in vain if you fail to nurture similar relationship strengths in your own organization. Value you can offer to your customer may be connected entirely to your ability to command internal resources to support your strategy. Sales Methods provides a powerful tool to enable you to map the political positioning of your key contacts and the relationships that you and your virtual team members enjoy. This tool is Org Chart Plus. We will cover this in more detail in a later chapter, or you can go there now and return to this chapter when you wish to continue this section. The question: do you have a business relationship goal? Supplier preferred supplier, trusted advisor, or business partner? Which is your relationship strategy? With which of the key decision makers are you appropriately positioned? Who are your immediate targets in the political map? The objective: to determine an appropriate relationship objective and to ensure you have a network of key contacts in the account through which you can demonstrate the value you offer and who can drive the decision-making processes of the major opportunities that you will be pursuing. And the criteria: 1. That you have determined your current supplier status. 2. That you have determined your objective for supplier status. 3. That you have mapped the formal organization charts. 4. That you have mapped the matrix of relationships between you and your contacts within the account. 5. That you have mapped the informal relationships that exist. 6. That you have developed a relationship development plan that leverages the informal relationships into the account. As you develop your strategy, it will pay you dividends if you set interim targets or waypoints, which afford you a realistic view of your progress and which indicate the validity of your direction or area of focus. As key account development necessitates a longer journey than, say, a single sales opportunity, it will be important to ensure that time and energy are serving you effectively, as it is often easy to become sidetracked over the 2 to 3 year plan. The vital few allows you to sense check that you have the right objective set in the key areas of the 1 to 16 questions. For example, is there a service or product issue, question 3, that once resolved will ensure you have earned the right to more business? Or making a move forward in your relationship status, question 4. In sense checking and developing these milestones, you need then to ensure appropriate objectives and tasks are set that will make sure you achieve them. The question: have you determined the vital few ambition goals? What are their timeline and milestones? The objective: to determine the key milestones, other than business opportunities, that will drive your progress in the account. The criteria: that you have determined your sustainable mutual business value, that you have a series of clear objectives in, but not limited to, the key sales opportunities. Question 1, significant value derived. Question 4, relationship status. Question 12, fiscal objectives as opposed to sales opportunities. Question 16, permission. And that you have a plan of action to achieve the milestone objectives. Inevitably, you will want to share with your own colleagues and relevant management team members the potential financial contribution all this effort will bring to your business and in what time frame. This will necessitate a sound business case, which is consistently updated, as it is easy to see how energy and resource may run ahead of reward if we do not manage this wisely. Disciplined methodologies like Plan to Prosper are designed to help you to accomplish this control. Bluespace is our tool that is specifically aimed at helping you quantify your opportunity in the account. The Outcome Bluespace tool is a map of opportunity on both a product and geographic basis and a forecast from you of your level of sales over the next couple of years. We cover Bluespace in more detail in a later chapter. The question: have you signed off business goals for this fiscal period? The objective: to determine and gain agreement to the fiscal objectives for the account for the current and subsequent 2 years. And the criteria: that you have determined the fiscal objectives, and 2, that these have been agreed by your appropriate management. You can now take a look at the way in which we have dealt with our set of 4 questions on ambition in the next chapter of our fictitious key account, as we populate the Sales Methods Plan to Prosper software. We now have some idea of where to go digging if we want to further our business relationship. Again, let's look at the way in which we have dealt with our set of 4 questions on ambition as we populate the Sales Methods Plan to Prosper software. Again, we access the ambition section, and let's look at one of the anchor points of the whole account development plan in the Plan to Prosper, question 9, mutual business value. Here in the summary view, you can see that we have rated our status as red. We have not yet determined the win-win that will fuel the energy needed for both SolarJet and us to commit time and resource to working together over the next couple of years. You can see that we have been giving this some thought, and the first out of our 3 objectives that we have set ourselves is to determine the mutual business value. The tool that we have to help you here is the value matrix, a SWOT without the weaknesses and back to front. So instead of a SWOT, we have an OTS. Not very helpful, we know, but it works. In any benefit statement, you should start with what your customer is going to get out of working with you. So first off, we consider the opportunities that SolarJet has in the market, then the threats they face, and finally the strengths that we have that will help them maximize their opportunities and minimize their threats. You are asked to draft opportunity statements, and to help you, you are presented with evidence from relevant areas in the 16 questions. This drop-down menu allows me to select the question, and in this instance, you can see that the work done in competing forces that has driven the answers to business drivers and responses. This has allowed us to draft 3 opportunity statements and to weight them again in terms of their scale and the degree of alignment that they have with their current operation. We repeat the process for threats and our organisation strength so that we finally are presented with a weighted list of opportunities, threats, and strengths that we use to identify the mutual business value that will accrue if we commit to work together. For SolarJet and Staku, this is: SolarJet Group plc will maximise opportunities, maximise the market opportunity presented by the acquisition of WRU and take early dominant market share of the massive new light-speed services market, while minimise threats, countering Virgin Galactic's market dominance by helping to educate the market through its growth and expertise in consulting services. By working together with us, who will provide unique language translation capabilities and expert-proven consulting and advisory services. I can now return to the objective of determining the mutual business value and market completed, and move on to the next objective. Okay, let's now move on to question 12, the fiscal objectives. The objective here is to determine and gain agreement to the fiscal objectives for the account for the current and subsequent 2 years. Surprisingly, for most business, this is based on what they did last year, not any scientific analysis of what the account opportunity is. The purpose of BlueSpace, however, is to determine and classify current penetration by product line and geography in the account, and identify the available headroom in order to identify future revenue opportunities, and to provide a forecast for a 3-year horizon, current and the next 2. Your account penetration is classified as none, BlueSpace, least, some, and most, giving you a view of your share of business versus your 2 fiercest competitors. The resulting heat map identifies patterns of current coverage, highlighting areas of future opportunity. The headroom analysis allows you to view the account's current spend, estimated realizable value, the competition's share, your share, and your forecast share for the next 2 years. A second view, share of wallet, allows a quick review of share by geography and product line. So, what is the workflow? First, determine the geography and business units for which you wish to conduct the BlueSpace analysis. This is often predetermined by your business structure. Then, for the prior year, 1. Record the total spend by the account on all products and services in the market in which you operate. 2. The estimated realizable value, if you cannot address the whole of this market with your current product set. 3. The revenue that the account currently spends with you. And 4. The gross margin you make. Then record the name of the competitors and the geographies for your products. This may be predetermined by your business, and record the revenue each currently has. Forecast the estimated reliable revenue by geography and business unit for the account and your revenue for next year and the year after. View the resulting heat map for patterns in coverage and areas of opportunity. Remember, if it is blue, you have no coverage. With shades of red evolving into a bright red, that means you have the lion's share. Review headroom analysis, the ERV, competitor share, and current and forecast business. Determine the validity of the forecast and amend as necessary. Finally, once you have completed your analysis, record the fiscal objectives.